Trying to clean it out as best I can. Before filling it up with water again. This is the only chance I'll get to clean out the bottom of this aquarium. I think there's some dried silicone down here. Oh, it's nice and clean. One downside of having aquariums right next to each other is cleaning the glass on the other side. So any water spills that's spilled down in between, it's hard to get that side clean. I'm not too worried about getting it spotless, but I want to get it just a good cleaning, as good as I can get it for now. Of course, the front of the glass. Jordy's going with, what are you doing? You have to back up to get in the shop. What are you doing? Well, Mom, I don't know what I'm doing. That's was my quarantine bucket for my betta fish. There's nobody in there now, just my Anubias plant. I'm not sure where I'm going to put the Anubias plant. I thought it was going to go in here. Or I have options. It can go in here, Or it might be able to go in the back section here where it's empty and it'll get shaded by the sword plant there. So. And I have to do a water change on this because I've got like a protein layer built up. And the reason for that is I lost a rasbora in here. I was doing some heavy cleaning down here, kind of wafting, and I might have done a little too much, and I guess it made one of the rasboras sick. So about 3 days later, I noticed a dead rasbora at the top here, and unfortunately it passed away in the night. So I've got a layer of protein, so this will need a water change, and hopefully that'll clear that up. All right, I'm going to unpack the parts for the undergravel filter. So this is what arrived. This is what I have ordered. I think you can order these, I forget, I think I got them in the larger quantity. I think it came as, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. I guess it came as a set of 10. I borrowed one, so this is 9. And this is what's going to go together. And I'm going to have to add and cover the edge. But I'm gonna put these in the aquarium now so you can see what they're going to look like, at least for now. Put these in here and get an idea of how it's gonna go. Hopefully I ordered enough. It looks like I might have to order one more set. All right, so that will not be enough. This is going to require 2 sets. It's not a full set of 10. It's 18, so you need 18 for this setup. So darn, I thought I had enough, and apparently I do not. This came with 10, and I'm going to need 8 more because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it takes 3 by 6 to completely cover a 40-gallon. Let's see how it would look, because there will be a little gap that substrate can get down in there, so the edges will need to get covered. And again, it's gonna take 2 sets of these to cover an entire bottom for a 40-gallon breeder. The plan is to build an anoxic filter, as Dr. Novak has stated. He thinks that your aquarium should have an anoxic filter rather than sand or gravel or any kind of substrate directly on the bottom of your aquarium. He says that there should be at least a little space between your aquarium and the substrate. And that is the point of these plates, is going to lift that substrate up off the bottom of the glass. So that is the goal, utilizing these plates or an undergravel filter. So what is the point of an undergravel filter? Well, it is meant to add a plate so that it will lift the substrate up off the bottom of your aquarium. That is the whole point, is to try to keep the substrate off the bottom. Dr. Novak has changed the amount of flow that pulls the water underneath that, in that plenum area, which again, the plenum is just a void. And water is flowing by adding the undergravel filter. It's supposed to have like a lift tube, and water can either flow in reverse or or non-reverse. So water can be pulled or pushed through that plenum, but the water is nonetheless supposed to have a little bit of a current through the plenum. And the goal is to create water movement that is very, very slow. So Dr. Novak thinks the reason people had trouble with undergravel filters is because they were increasing the rate of flow, and that was essentially causing it to no longer work as a filter. So by slowing down that speed to just like a trickle, in his research, he learned that slowing down that speed is what actually helps the filter do its job. And that's where he came up with the Anoxic filter. So essentially it's just an undergravel plate with a very slow moving water flow underneath that plate using just an air bubbler that you can adjust the rate. I'm going to show you guys some slides now that will explain Dr. Novak's Anoxic filter a little better. It is a little bit challenging to understand because it has a lot of technical terms. So rather than me just going over it with you, because I forget what he has said, I've watched his videos and I've tried to take out information that I felt was important in trying to understand the Anoxic filter better. So I'm going to show you those slides now. But hopefully this will help give you a better understanding of the Anoxic filter if you've never seen Dr. Novak's videos before, or maybe you have and you still haven't understood what he's been saying. Because I know it's taken me several times to watch his videos and understand it better. So I hope this helps. Why would I want to use an undergravel filter instead of just doing what I see everybody else doing? Well, if you've found Dr. Novak's videos, he goes into explaining why you would want to use his Anoxic filter system. And it goes back to when he had like koi fish, very expensive koi fish in his pond. He found that adding the BCB, which stands for Biocenosis, I think, Biocenosis baskets. I hope I said that right, but I might have messed it up. He added those to his pond, and one basket was able to filter enough waste from the pond so that he could have I think one basket might have filtered the amount of waste for one large koi fish. And koi fish get up to 15 inches. So he always had really good water clarity and never had any problems in his pond using the baskets. And people always asked what he does, and they never believed him that he had these baskets were cleaning the water for him. They said, no, it's the plants in your pond that are cleaning the water. And he said, no, I don't have a lot of plants in there. It's these baskets. So he's been trying to educate people in the hobby and on why the baskets work and why they do such a good job. And other people who tried out the baskets always had good things to say about them too. So, he said, if you don't believe me, try it. So he has now started using the system for aquariums in your home. So it's relatively new. He's trying to add it to aquariums now and prove that it works. If it works for ponds, then it should work for your aquarium. But it's a slightly different setup for a home aquarium. Because in your aquarium, you have filters, you have canister filters, you have hang-on back filters like I'm using. I have an internal filter. So right now it's not set up to use on very small filters. So the largest filter you can use a BCB in is a canister filter. But I'm going to try it out using just the undergravel filter with the plenum and see if that works without any additional filtration. But again, if one basket works on a koi fish, then adding a canister filter with the BCB inside or the Biocenosis basket should allow you to add more fish to your aquarium. So, do you like to feed your fish? Everybody who gets into this hobby likes to feed their fish because they are pets and they want constant attention, and they look like they can eat endlessly. So oftentimes people do tend to overfeed their fish. And if you overfeed your fish in your aquarium, you will get an outbreak of algae. So what do you do? Well, most people will tell you, don't feed as much food. Feed a lot less than you think you should. The common rule of thumb is to feed as much as a fish can eat in 3 minutes time. So feed as much as a fish can eat in 3 minutes. And that tells you how much food that you should feed your fish. And they should eat it all, and there should be no leftover food. If there's leftover food, then you have overfed your fish. With the Anoxic filter, you don't have to worry about that, and you can feed your fish, and you can keep more fish in your aquarium than you used to be able to. So now it's almost like you can possibly have more fish in your aquarium. I'm not going to say overstock your aquarium, but you can have the amount of fish that you would like to keep. So you don't have to understock your aquarium. So to recap, Anoxic filtration is a system that can be set up with a BCV or by using a plenum by means of adding an undergravel filter with or without a lift tube for air. As long as there is some water movement in the plenum or in your substrate, there will be an environment for bacteria to grow and live in the substrate. I'm not going to talk about the type of bacteria that grows in the substrate using this method. If you'd like to learn more about that and how Anoxic filtration came about or how it works, you can find more information from Dr. Novak himself. I will leave a link to his channel in the description for you. In my next video, I will show how I finished setting up the undergravel filter for my 40-gallon tank. I will also share the layers of substrate that I will be adding. I have purchased kitty litter, some laterite, and black sand for my substrate. So I will get that finished up and I will share that in a future video. If you're new to Anoxic filtration, I hope that this has helped you understand it better and that you'll give it a try too. One benefit that I left out and I did not discuss is that your fish will be healthier according to Dr. Novak. I truly believe that he cares about setting up a system that will not only take care of the plants and algae, but will benefit the fish first and foremost. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Take care and happy fish keeping.